Bonjour, bonjour. I just finished a lesson with a learner and I discovered something fascinating about how the word Texas, of all words, can teach you two very important deep patterns of French pronunciation. So the reason it reveals those patterns is because the word is spelled the same in French and English, obviously, but it's pronounced quite differently. So in English you say Texas, in French we say Texas, Texas, Texas. And there are two big differences here. So I would say maybe the most obvious one, although that's debatable, is that there's the pronunciation of the A. In French, we say a full A sound. There's an A, we say A. In English, the vowel you write seems to matter less. Sometimes you say the vowel the way it's supposed to be said, like in Texas, but then the A is pronounced like a. It's like the sound was crushed and reduced. And that is a phenomenon that is well studied by linguists. And it is the fact that English is a stress-timed language and French is a syllable-timed language. So those are two fundamentally different ways of pronouncing things. You might think, and my learner did think, that it was laziness, that English speakers are lazy and they don't say Texas, and then they say Texas instead. But it's not laziness. It's the deep structure of English pronunciation. It's different from French. So in English, when a vowel is not stressed, when you have no emphasis on it, you reduce the vowel to what's called a schwa. So it's the sound or a weak I sound. So in this case, it's a schwa, a sound. So you say Texas because it's ta. So the emphasized vowel is the first one. In French, that doesn't matter. There's almost no word stress. For all intents and purposes in French, there's no word stress. So we say it in a way that's kind of flat, Texas, Texas. But we say the vowels fully, Texas, ah. So that's something you want to keep in mind when you try to pronounce French and when you're listening to French. Things like a word like attention, again, written the same in French and English, attention, attention. If you pay attention, you'll notice that the A and the O are pronounced the same in English. Attention, a-n, a. Whereas in French, it's attention, attention. So full vowels in French, and in English, it depends on whether the vowel is stressed or not. So you want to try to get rid of that habit of crushing vowels when you speak French, and you want to make sure you say you want to make sure you say attention and not attention. Attention, not attention. Okay. Same thing with like a very famous phrase: I adore, I love, j'adore. J'adore. If you say it the English way, you'll tend to say j'adore, j'adore. That sounds like je dors, which means I'm sleeping. Totally different word. So, as you see, French values vowel sounds a lot more than English. That's a general rule. So that's the first thing. Texas, Texas. Texas, Texas. Second thing is the pronunciation of the T. English tends to hit consonant sounds much harder than French. We're a lot softer with consonant sounds. So, for example, you say Texas. It's almost like there's an H after the T, like Texas, Texas. We say Texas, Texas. So pay attention, focus on the pronunciation of TE. Texas, Texas. Texas, Texas. The same is true with the P, for example. So you say Paris, Paris. You have that sound. Paris. We say Paris, Paris. And that's one of the reasons why French sounds softer to your ears than English. That's all I have for today. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something interesting. And if you're struggling, if you can read or speak some French, a little bit of French, but you still struggle to understand real spoken French, without subtitles. I can help. I've got free stuff and paid stuff, and the best way to discover it is to sign up for the newsletter at the bottom of this video. Again, merci for your interest in my language, and à bientôt.